Welcome, Just Jeff on Life. A second road ramble. I'll title this the same, The End of Life, or Near the End of Life. I have a few additional points, not in addition to the last video, but additional points related to the end of life. So I have begun to ask people and just observe, see what I believe I see. But ask people as they are nearing retirement or in retirement. I have asked specifically, what is your legacy? Like, what are you leaving behind? Are you intentional about leaving behind? I'm going to say, as yet, the overwhelming conclusion is, the answer to that question is nothing. Nothing. I've yet to meet someone who has said, I have lived a long life. That could be 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. But I've lived more of my life than I have left. And I realize, to a degree, regardless of its impact, will it change the world or not, I have much to give. And I'm not going to leave this earth taking it with me. I am going to say that it appears to me that we are primarily takers. That's my judgment, if you will. That's my conclusion. That's my word. What I mean by that is, I'll work my entire life making money so that I can retire and feel safe, feel like I have enough money to make it to the end of my days, and that's it. That's my primary concern. Now, is that taking? I believe so. It's not giving, for sure. If you're either taking or giving, it's self-centered. Now, I do know you can't say those types of things without negative connotations. There's nothing wrong with being self-centered. I'm self-centered. I take care of myself. Now, I can also be outwardly aware. And so, without getting lost in the semantics, are we primarily self-centered, working our entire lives for what we can have, what that will afford us, the luxuries and safety and comfort for the life that we want to have? And are we then dying without giving? And I don't mean does somebody give to charity. I feel like, or let me say this, what if we primarily considered how might the world be different, better, hopefully, by our intentional effort to contribute to it. Now, in our 20s and 30s and maybe 40s, raising young families, teenagers, figuring ourselves out, we can still do it, but I think it's much more challenging. So that's why I'm raising the question in the consideration of nearing the end of life. Now, that could be 20, 30, 40 years. 10 years is probably getting pretty narrow. But even then, but maybe more so nearing, and probably for people like me, nearing nearing could be 5, 10, 15-ish, 20 years towards retirement, whatever it might be, and considering all the rest of life. Now, I probably don't have to over-define what that is, what that means, or that time period. Let me see if I can simplify my own thoughts to clarify. Do we spend a life primarily considering for ourselves? Even if we give, are we really giving of that much? And therefore, when we leave this earth, we didn't have much of a contribution. In contrast to, I believe all of us have much to contribute, even if it's only time. Time time at a nursing home, time at WIC. Is it WIC? No, it's when babies are born. And there's a care facility. I should know because we foster children from there. But I don't remember it. I don't want to limit the thinking by my poor examples, but or mentoring, or being a big brother, big sister, babysitting. I could babysit, right? There's lots that I could do. I could take time to help with math. Now, I'm not a high math person, but could I tutor after school 1 day a week for a month? 1 day a month even, right? I'm going to wrap this up. My observations are that we are primarily self-focused, self-centered. And we could continue that. We could still be self-centered. And in addition, be outwardly centered. We have so much to give. And how might the world be different if we began to consider all of us, me, have a lot to offer in so many different capacities. And it doesn't have to be significant. The collective would be significant. Imagine if only 100 of us said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to line up babysitting for single parents. Or we're going to start a handyman service for people who can't afford it. And there's some that already do that. Or I'm going to go to assisted living and I'm simply going to volunteer my time. Now, I'm sure some do that, but imagine if many, many, many of us did that. All right. Again, I don't want to limit it by my own examples. I probably have, but what are your thoughts? Just Jeff on Life. Road Ramble, nearing the end of life.